Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another day in crypto paradise here. Hope you guys are enjoying it. We are enjoying covering PulseChain every day through the bear market into the early stages of the big bull market rally. We're having a good time, and man, when it gets starts getting crazy out there in altcoin season, it is going to be so much fun. And all our time will have paid off. The return on investment will come. It's going to be pretty exciting. Hope you guys are enjoying it. And of course, today we're going to be covering all the good stuff, right? We're going to be covering PulseChain, Bitcoin, and crypto. Yesterday, I did a bit of coverage on X-Chain, on Titanx. Today, we're going to be covering some of the crypto news out there as well over the last week. So I hope you guys enjoy the content as well. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the follow button. And if you're on X, don't forget to repost on X and also on YouTube, reshare as well. So smash that repost button. Doesn't take long to do that. We've got Sean O'Malley in the house there, up and away, Superman, Solid X to fly. Yeah, Solid X is, as I called it, one of the Magnificent Seven is the old Solid X, and we're looking forward to some big things there from Firewall, Solid X, and the X game. Of course, it's going to be a fully licensed crypto casino on PulseChain. Going to be pretty exciting for sure. We got people in the house there, kind of cool. It was back. Don't overshill. Don't overshill on the channel, but I appreciate the alpha that you guys are dropping, but just don't overdo it today. What else we got going? We're going to be talking about a lot of cool stuff in the news. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, we've got Bitcoin holding pretty well at about 105K, so that's going to be fun to see that. But let's get into all the details today. We're going to get into the chat there, and remember, don't forget to repost the show. So at the moment, of course, we've got a lot of cool things happening. I posted out quite a few sections of the show yesterday, so I'm going to try and do that more. Just clip out some of the better sections so that people can hear all about that. So I did a bit of bonanza yesterday, went pretty well. And of course, we did an old hex there, smashed the hex out. And of course, what else did we do today? And we did the strategy club. If you haven't gotten the strategy club, definitely look at joining up to that. We've got strategy chats. We've got the top 10 high performing index. We've got talking about big 1000X protocol intel. We've got daily intel drops and monthly crypto reports as well. And we're going to be doing a lot more in that space. So definitely check that out. Join today. See you there for the bull run ahead. Brought to you by the Crypto Night Show, of course, which is pretty cool. All right. Without further ado, let's get into the crypto news, though, and see where crypto is at. We're at $3.4 trillion at the moment. 3.4 trillion. We're down 1.7% overall today. However, Bitcoin, it was floating down a little bit overnight, but it managed to grab back its spot over 105K. So we're looking really good on our Bitcoin at the moment. We're at 0.1% last 24 hours. Still at 105,347. We got Ethereum at number 2 is up 0.6% at $2,543. We got XRP at number 4 at the moment, up 1.1% at $2.17. We got BNB at the moment at number 5, up 0.4%, $647. We got Solana at number 6, up 5.5%, $152. We got Dogecoin there at number 8 is down 1.4% at the moment, 70.5 cents. And then we got Tron at the moment Tron is up 1.3% at 27.3 cents. Tron, of course, doing relatively well lately. And we've got Lido there at number 10, having flipped Cardano, and that is up 0.6% at $2,545. So those are the top 10 today. And the best performer for the week is Ethereum, up 0.2%. The only one in the green, apart from Lido, a staked ETH there at 0.4%. So those is the marks. The worst performer in the top 10 is Dogecoin, down 6% for the week, followed not too far behind by XRP at the moment. So those are kind of wrapping up our top 10. Good to see Wookie in the house. Let's get it out there. What's it? Post BOP, like it. Post BOP, like, not quite sure what that means, but let us know. Let us know what that means, Wookie. Let us know. All right, so let's jump into the cool stuff here. That is where we are for the top 10, but the top 100. Let's check that out. So we got AB at the moment is number 100. It has come into the top 100 there. It's up 32% for the week, down 2.3% today, but holding on to number 100 spot at $939 million. You basically get the top 100. You've basically got to be, pretty close to that $1 billion mark. We got Whitebit there, which was doing well yesterday, is up 26.3% for the week. And we got Sky, which is formerly Maker, that is up 19% for the week. And then SPX 6900, which has been doing very well, still sitting at around about 78, having come recently, I think, into the top 100, and has made its stamp, marked its stamp pretty strongly, up 16.7%. And then finally, number 5 is Fartcoin, 15% there as well, sitting at number 81. And of course, we can't not talk about Hyperliquid. That's up 14% as well, been doing very well, sitting at number 12. Can you believe it? Wow. So close to the top 10 is Hyperliquid at number 12. So obviously a bit of a juggernaut these days. And then we got, I guess we'll talk about Bitcoin Cash just below it. That's up 11% as well. Let's have a quick look at Bitcoin Cash. We haven't looked at that for a while. So let's see where that is at the moment. So yeah, I mean, so, its heyday back in 2017. And of course, it's, been down pretty low, around, I don't know, what do you reckon, around $110 or so. And then it's currently just recently risen from about 290 up to 460 at the moment. So 290 to 460, back on a bit of a drive there. So don't sleep on the old Bitcoin Cash. Of course, we know Bitcoin Jesus out there that covered that, spreading that as real cash. That was the narrative. Of course, had the legal problems. Is he still in jail? I can't remember, but that is Bitcoin Cash. And what else we got there? And top gainers at the moment, we got Ara Coin up 40%, House Coin up 40%, and Retardo up 23% there at the moment. Those are the marks. We might have a quick look at Ara Coin and see where that is at. So it's sitting at number 812. Boy, that has only been around a little bit here. March the 16th. So April, May, June. So almost 3 months, I guess. And it has gone from 0002 and has rallied into 1/10 of a penny. So wow, that is on the move there. That's sitting at 812 ARA coin. It's a BEP20 token designed to support wildlife conservation through blockchain technology. So something is driving that a little bit. So there we go. That's ARA coin. What else we got that we had in that top 100? So top trending, we had House coin. Let's quick look at that too while we're here. And we can see that's been around since April the 1st, so not too long. Pretty similar time. Seems to be going at 3.3 cents, currently at 4.5 cents on a bit of a tear. House tokens can be traded. Not quite sure what that's about, but it doesn't seem to have a website or anything. House coin there, sitting at number 750, so even higher ranked than the other one. And finally, Retardo, it's the other one trending. Let's have a quick look at that as well. Been around since 7th of March as well. So all that was last year, so it's been around a bit longer, quite a bit longer there. And Retardo is a pure, pulsive, wild, unchained community thriving on Solana. So there we go. That is pretty much it. It's got a website. Let's have a quick look at that too. Currently, it is ranked number 984, so it's in the top 1,000. Remember, there's 17,400 listed on CoinGecko, so it's in the top 1,000 there. Let's have a quick look at the site. Let me know in the chat if you got any of these. Oh boy, this is real old school. This one, Retardo there, Retardo shop. That's truly internet, right? That's truly internet. Retardo, how retard you are, and then it's got low I. I'm not sure. I'm scared to actually move the dial. Scared to move the dial. All right, so that is Retardo. All right, welcome to crypto, guys. We've got all sorts of crazy stuff out there. Pretty funny. All right, trending. We got Notcoin there at the moment trending. Polyhedra Network and Lambo trending. Well, Polyhedra Network is down 84% today, so hashtag wrecked on that one. Let's have a quick look at that too. Well, here, ouchie. Oh my god, looks like massive rug pull, doesn't it? 467 still. 467. Where was it sitting? It was sitting at $2. It's gone down to 31 cents right now. Polyhedra Network is a platform bringing interoperability and scalability to Web3 with the fast zero knowledge proof systems, so on. So crazy. Let's have a look at the website. Polyhedra there. It looks like a ZK Sync one, doesn't it, or something? the future of intelligence, or apparently the wreckness as well. Products there. So something's going on afoot there. I do not know what it is. Everything chain for AI introducing XP chain. So something has gone awry there on that chart. Inside a job. Normally it's inside a job, right? Wrecked, says Wookie. Absolutely. All right, so that is kind of where we are with Polyhedra Network and AI. We can't say too much about that, can we? So that is pretty much that on the old crypto. I think we're going to leave it there. So yeah, down 1.5% overall on crypto market based on CoinGecko's 17,400 coins, but Bitcoin itself is actually holding pretty strong, and so is Ethereum there at the moment. So that's good news. Now we're going to get into a bit of the details around the news as well. Let me just bring up my split studio here. And we're going to get into, actually, I'll get rid of that again. Actually, we got some news around corporations now. It's always show me the money, right? Where's the money going to come from to pump, not only Bitcoin, but crypto and altcoin season. And of course, we've got corporations continue to spawn treasuries, Bitcoin treasuries. What's good about them? So I thought we'd have a quick look at this. We might go full screen. Should we go full screen? Oh, it's probably okay as it is. Let me just zoom in on that a little bit there. Hopefully that's come up nicely. That's much better, isn't it? So for several years, Strategy, formerly MicroStrategy, was the sole public company whose modus operandi was buying billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin with borrowed capital. These days, several other companies are trying to follow in Strategy's footsteps. We know that the Trump family was trying to do that, right, with, I think, World Liberty. And, of course, Trump ended up making, about $60-70 million in a recent disclosure last week, I think it was. As more companies go all in on stacking Bitcoin, critics are raising concerns about the growing circulation of crypto's treasuries. Currently, just 216 entities, 101 of them which are public entities, holding nearly 31% of circulating BTC supply. But we've known this for a long time, right? Is that retail has been accumulating over all these Bitcoin cycles, and that institutions and corporates that come in will need to buy it off those retail holders, right? So that's pretty much been known for a long time. And as the prices get pushed up, people are going to sell their Bitcoin for mad gains, and the corporations are going to slowly pick them up, right? So we're going to get a far more corporate structure in Bitcoin trading and all the rest of it, right? And then, of course, when they hype up the markets, the late retail people that come in and buy the top are the ones that get wrecked, right? Because then the corporates sell down on their heads, and then they rinse and repeat as they move forward in time. Currently, just 216 entities. What else we got there? Treasuries accounting for approximately 765,000 Bitcoins with 3.7% of total supply, excluding lost coins. Some people say 2 million, some people say 4 million, lost coins in Bitcoin. This trend shows no sign of slowing, with existing firms continuing to accumulate and new players entering the space that prompts debate over the benefits and risks of corporate ownership, Bitcoin ownership. Well, it is what it is. It's too late now. The monster is open. BlackRock is here. Bitcoin ETFs are here. Of course, if you want to get mad gains, you're going to have to swap hands, so to speak. Swap your Bitcoin. Wave of high-profile crypto treasury launches are underway, led by figures like Jack Mallers with 21 Capital, David Bailey with Nakamoto, and most recently Anthony Pompliano with ProCap BTC, which are reportedly raising $750 million in equity and convertible debt to accumulate Bitcoin. So the money is coming, guys. The money is coming. Each new treasury announcement is met with bullish fanfare on crypto Twitter, where influencers routinely frame the news as a catalyst for BTC price appreciation. Yet such announcements now occurring almost daily. The actual impact is increasingly unclear. The familiar refrain of "this is not priced in" has become the cliche, while comment sections often reflect confusion over why Bitcoin's price continues to fall despite seemingly bullish developments. Bitcoin historian says, fact, 3.9 trillion yen SoftBank is investing billions in a company that wants to buy more Bitcoin than Microsoft. This is not priced in. We love that. We love that. All right, so we got SoftBank there. Do Bitcoin treasuries pump BTC's price? According to Gemini Research, the growing adoption among sovereign and regulated financial institutions leads to decreased volatility in all timeframes after 2018. The launch of Bitcoin ETFs in 2024 made the trend even stronger. Despite the stabilization of Bitcoin price, it doesn't stop gaining value. The main difference is that now the price rises steadily without frequent high amplitude fluctuations it had in the past. According to Unchained, Bitcoin's price is stuck between 100,000 and 110,000 US dollars, and it will take a long time for it to exceed the 130K rank mark. People don't pay attention to many things while reading bombastic announcements. One is a lack of retail interest, as the public tends to pay attention to Bitcoin when it's hit an all-time high or at similar periods. Another reason for slower price movements is that Bitcoin treasuries not only buy Bitcoin but dump it too, as they need cash to repurchase shares. Additionally, the announcement usually displayed the full amount of the deal, Pompliano to raise $750 million to invest in Bitcoin treasury, whereas in reality, these amounts are raised slowly to take several months to complete the deals. So it comes that the purchases made by Bitcoin treasuries are not what they may seem to be. Finally, the relentless accumulation of Bitcoin is pulling coins away from circulation, making a notable part of the supply dormant and somewhat purposeless for years. Bitcoin treasuries need this crypto to attract more investors and clients. However, it drives the Bitcoin away from an initial role as an alternative electronic cash, and some in the crypto community raise critical voices directed at Bitcoin treasuries. Nick says this massive accumulation of Bitcoin by corporates and ETFs is getting very close to Satoshi's original vision of us never having to actually use the Bitcoin network. The not your keys, not your coins attitude is alive and well. Many Bitcoin enthusiasts prefer actually to own their Bitcoins and don't outsource all the hassles to corporations. Maximalists remind us that any entity does not control Bitcoin and it is free to purchase, so there is no need for a company to buy and maintain Bitcoin on your behalf. Some criticize Bitcoin treasuries for not representing the spirit of Bitcoin, while others emphasize the troubled past of Bitcoin treasury frontmen. For instance, MicroStrategy has a questionable episode during the dot-com bubble era, whereas the company restated its profits, resulting in losses for the investors. The SEC accused the company of fraud. At the time, Saylor spoke about his plans to donate $100 million to the Internet University to provide free education for everyone on Earth forever. This kind of evangelism may sound familiar to those that follow Saylor's modern-day speeches, where he is more grounded when dealing with Bitcoin. Predator says what Magu really means is that Bitcoin treasury companies need a professional orange washer and influencer already trusted by the plebs who can toe the line between LARPing as a maxi and shilling as stock, being superior to real BTC, aka the used car salesman type. That's pretty funny. For some, Pompliano is an ambiguous candidate for helming the new mighty Bitcoin treasury, while Pompliano is a well-known and recognizable Bitcoin advocate. Some remember his involvement in promoting fraudster crypto exchange FTX and its associated platform BlockFi. Collapses of these platforms were painfully not only for its users, but also impacted the entire crypto ecosystem or sector, and of course, crashing the market, infusing cryptocurrency distrust among the community outsiders, and more importantly, the regulators. Pompliano, their single book, podcast, or conversation can change your life. So true. For example, I lost my savings after listening to your podcast and putting it into BlockFi. Completely changed my life, says someone. And you get a lot of that on crypto, of course. Some Bitcoin owners watch the performance of the treasury company's stocks or ETFs and sell their Bitcoins to buy these assets, hoping for quicker gains. Adam Back, a Blockstream CEO and the only person whose work is referenced in the Bitcoin white paper, urged his followers not to sell their Bitcoins to buy ETFs or similar assets, as they won't be able to buy them back. There we go. I think Macro Minute says, I think we may have already peaked there. The sad reality is most retail is already priced out. That's on the old Bitcoin chart there. Bitcoin retail institutional addresses there in L, just going up all the time. All right, so that's kind of it where we are. What good is Bitcoin treasuries? The same person urging us not to sell Bitcoins, Adam Back, explaining that Bitcoin treasuries are bringing forward the Bitcoin adoption curve. Mr. and BTC treasuries by Adams, they are basically an arbitrage between the fiat system and the hyper-Bitcoinized future. And if you can buy Bitcoin today and pay for it in 5 years or convert it into equity, you are bringing forward the Bitcoin adoption curve there. Back pointed out that the most people don't have money and opportunities to acquire Bitcoin. In contrast, public companies have their opportunities to raise capital by selling their shares, or vice versa. These companies don't need a free money to invest in Bitcoin, as they can buy Bitcoin in advance and pay for it years later. They are basically an arbitrage between the fiat money system and the hyper-Bitcoinized future. The more mainstream explanation is that shares and ETFs are easier to deal with for institutional investors than Bitcoin, so they don't have to worry about Bitcoin legal status and the lack of the company around it. Instead, they can just deal with the public company that offers their guarantees and is traded just like other public companies, while exposing clients to the Bitcoin price appreciation. Generally speaking, these treasuries are helping TradeFi traders and investors to benefit from long-term price appreciation without having to deal with Bitcoin. So that was a big article around corporates, and I think that's a big theme that's just going to be a mega theme sitting in the background. A lot of the retail book doesn't care about this sort of stuff, but that is what's going to be driving a lot of value going forward. We also saw some of the weekly news in last week. Obviously, President Trump there making $57 million in crypto. And of course, that's why a lot of his family are not in the government this time, so they can get away with doing stuff like that. And last week marked a turning point for digital assets, both regulation and institutional adoption as well. So yeah, at World Liberty Finance, Trump made $57 million. This is in addition to gold bar stakes worth $250,000 to $500,000. Trump's personal cryptocurrency holdings are believed to be worth $1 to $5 million. So that is the play. Hodgson, of course, from Cardano, proposed Cardano DeFi investments. But of course, ADA's been slipping out of the top 10 right now, number 11. In order to boost the ecosystem's native DeFi economy, the Cardano founder proposed depositing $100 million in ADA. The informal plan under consideration would involve purchasing assets including Bitcoin, Cardano, native stablecoins such as USDM, USDA, and IUSD. SharpLink Gaming builds major Ethereum treasury. Minnesota-based affiliate marketing firm purchased 176,000 Ethereum for approximately $463 million as part of Ethereum's treasury strategy. We're going to be getting a lot more of this, right? So, people accumulating. I think BlackRock was as well, obviously World Liberty. So, yeah, Ethereum's not really going anywhere, guys. So, for those that are a bit worried about its lackluster performance until recently, this acquisition positions SharpLink as the second largest institutional Ethereum holder after the Ethereum Foundation itself. And of course, we saw that on the Ethereum Strategic Reserve, didn't we? Let's pull that up, actually. Strategic ETH Reserve. Of course, PulseChain here is number 3 now, being pushed from number 2 to number 3. And we can see SharpLink Gaming there at number 2. So there we go. That's SharpLink there. That's tying that in, pushing PulseChain Sacrifice down to number 3. But of course, our numbers, I don't know why they've got a number at 166. It's supposed to be 171, right? So that still wouldn't make us number 2, but would put us at number 3 there. Keep us, closer, only a couple of thousand away. I'm sure there's more capital around to set that up. So that was pretty interesting. SEC, Ripple, and Solana, Securities Exchange Commission, and Ripple have jointly filed a motion in Manhattan Federal Court to dissolve the injunction and release the $125 million civil penalty currently held in escrow. Under the proposed arrangement, $50 million would go to the SEC, while the remaining $75 million would be returned to Ripple. Why is the SEC getting so much money? Because they waste it on their junior lawyers. Is that what this out of the Ivy League schools? Is that what's happening? Hey, Diamond Hands, good to see you in the house. What does ETH says, Wookie? It's a PLS with a different wrapper. I don't know. Great show today. Probably who says. A big shout out there. Appreciate that. All right, so that's kind of where we are with that. SEC also asked issuers of proposed spot Solana exchange-traded funds to update the S1 filings, and that's positive. We saw Jack Levin talking about that yesterday. In case the SEC is actively reviewing Solana ETF applications and moving forward potential authorization decisions. Of course, that will play into X1 launch, right? Presumably, that may only be a few months away. We shall see. Presumably he's going to launch this year. We shall find out. The man, the mist, and the vampire mystery. All right, so Tether acquires stake in precious metal companies as well. So, crypto's starting to take over more fiat world, right? I guess it's a good thing. Stablecoin and gold-backed token issuer has purchased about 31% of Element Atlas royalties, Canadian Precious Metals Royalty Corporation. Tether Investments undertook transaction. The company's linked but separate investment arm. We do see a big trend between, centralized exchanges and even stablecoins from the looks of it taking over more sort of TradeFi fiat-based, businesses, including stock markets and things like that. So keep a lookout for that. That's going to be a mega theme as crypto gets more wealthy. It's going to take over more of the lower performing TradeFi, especially when crypto's 24/7, right? And it's building a lot of systems around that. So it's a pretty big deal. We got Crypto Jackson in the house there. Smash that like and subscribe. Definitely do that, guys. And we got Hexvader in the house. Hey. Good to see Hexvader. Loving the Superman little emoji there. Wookie says Wookie's starting to think ETH is a stable coin. And Hexvader says smash them likes. Definitely smash those likes on the way in. All right, so that's it. Strategy grabs headlines. Wednesday, the company began trading its STRD securities on the NASDAQ, which is properly known as 10% series. So it's that. New Bitcoin back preferred stock closed its debut, just up slightly. According to the company, paid $110 million for an additional 1,000 Bitcoin, which equates to an average price of $105,000. So that's MSTR strategy, holding approximately 582,000 Bitcoin now. Isn't that crazy? It's getting up and away there. Ant Group planned stablecoin license in multiple jurisdictions. Obviously, with the Genius Act, I think that's going to be signed tomorrow. It will be Monday US time. I think that's in the US, right? That's around stablecoins, and that won't really affect anything on PulseChain that I can think of. You need if your stablecoin's worth over 50 billion, you have to get regulated. You have to go to the register to regulate in the US, of course. Yeah, think, and you have to have 100% collateral. So all the liquidity forks on PulseChain have that. So I really don't see any early impact there. Pudgy Penguins partner with NASCAR. Stripe acquires crypto wallet. Now, this is probably more interesting for those that are not too familiar with the Stripe payment system out there for websites and selling digital products and things like that. Stripe's getting pretty ubiquitous around the place. They've acquiring a crypto wallet provider, Privy. This is really huge because they still deal a lot of stuff, as far as I recall, in the fiat world, but they're expanding to crypto. This is major. This is really a big deal. I mean, they are a big provider. And so this could be huge for those that are using Stripe. Payments giant has purchased Privy, a cryptocurrency wallet provider. Privy will remain an independent product while operating under Stripe's umbrella, promising to move faster, ship more, and serve you better. So if they've got that, crypto wallet integration, that means that they may start receiving crypto. I'm not sure that they do that at the moment. I think they do that at the moment. So if they start doing that, that'd be pretty huge, really massive. I mean, the adoption from that could be massive. They talk about, all these shops online, could be massive. Circle unleashes USDC on World Blockchain. Stablecoin issuer on Wednesday said the USDC token had been deployed on OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's World project. The launch follows Circle's successful debut on the New York Stock Exchange through its highly anticipated public offering last week. So, like saying, we're not into just taking over, traditional, trading markets, things like that, but we're getting listed on, New York Stock Exchange, things like that. So things are really starting to move for crypto. Nowell there becomes Polygon founder. Sandeep Nowell, CEO of Polygon Foundation. I'm not sure too much what Polygon's really doing these days. Doesn't seem to be having a lot of. Back in the last bull markets, Polygon was one of the hot chains, right? But I don't know, not so much these days. I can tell. Let me know in the chat there if I'm missing something, but that's kind of the play. So that is some of the big news over the last week. Yeah, boy. That leads us into what? Leads us into PulseChain, Pulse Gains, as we say. PulseChain, Pulse Gains. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. But before we do that, let's bring up the Bitcoin chart, shall we? Bring up the Bitcoin chart, and we may bring up the ETH chart as well. Let's swap that over, and ETH. Guess what's coming up? Good charts. I'll talk about that at the end of the show. Let's not jump the gun. What does it mean to jump the gun? Is it like you're jumping the gun itself or jumping the bullets? I don't know. You guys decide. All right. Let's jump back into the mix and get into Bitcoin. Bitcoin BTC. Oh, yeah, boy. All right. Let's go full mode. I think so. Let's go full mode. All right. So here we are, Bitcoin. And we are chugging along here. We've been talking about this for some time. And we're slowly getting through. We're now 2/3 of the way through, right? And we're heading closer and closer to the 4th of July. We know that Trump is trying to do this trade deal. The trade deals with the top 15 countries done basically UK and almost, I would say, China. And then, of course, he's got an in-principle deal, and they're doing the white papers on it. And then, of course, we've got maybe 13 other countries that are of significance, and then over 115 countries. So, hopefully we're going to get some trade deals announcements this week. Something like South Korea, Japan, things like that. India might be a little bit more complicated, possibly. Europe, obviously, very complicated, but it looks like they may have come to the table. And of course, he put out last week a 2-week, demand to get your deal in, basically your deal in. So I think that's putting a lot of pressure on those countries. Everyone's sort of hopping in line. So yeah, I don't expect too much give or throw. Now we do see the globalists are not giving up. All right. So we see, particularly around Israel, they showed their hands, right? So we saw that sanctioning New Zealand, Australia, Canada, Norway, UK sanctioning 2 of the Israeli cabinet ministers, and a completely illogical move. It makes really no sense whatsoever. But the globalists will not give up. They are plotting away. We know that. I think we saw there was a meet. I can't remember who was attending, but it was a lot of top globalists attending a secret meeting. I can't remember what country it was in, whether it was Canada or somewhere, but that was happening as well. So these guys are not giving up, even with Trump taking the presidency in the most powerful nation in the world. They're still plodding away. They're still plodding away. They're all lunatics, but they're still plodding. They're still plodding. They're plotting against us, by the way. If you want to, it's basically where that's the problem. So we'll see. We'll see how much they can get going. These guys will not. These little worms will not. They give up without a fight. Right? They've got still got lots of power. Particularly Europe. Europe is the power. They won the Canadian elections. Remember. They got won the Australian elections, and of course, New Zealand is our prime minister is a globalist as well. So we're pretty screwed, pretty screwed. But hopefully, it's Trump's going to push back, and we'll get some road. That being said, we got the trade deals being done. Hopefully, we'll get some big news over the next week. We got big tax bills, obviously pushing through. That seems to be going through pretty well. And then, of course, we've got deregulation and leverage. Those are the three strategies of the three-legged stool. And, of course, that's going to be dealing not necessarily immediately, but dealing with the U.S. Public debt, which is, 37 trillion. The government federal deficit, which is 2 trillion with half a trillion in interest rates payments. It's a ridiculous amount, $1 trillion of interest payments. And, of course, that's the same size as the U.S. military budget, by the way. Set for this year, which is also $1 trillion, the first time ever. That was typically about $880 billion. And then thirdly, to deal with the trade deficit, which is 1.2 trillion, and China's about 350 billion of that, right? So those are the problems, and Trump is putting in place these strategies to deal with it. Now, obviously, the ultimate strategy is to get the trade deficit down through the reorganizing the World Trade Order, and of course, to deal with the federal deficit. They've done the Doge, right? Get costs out of the system and corruption. And then, of course, they've obviously lowering taxes and extending taxes, but with the idea that will stimulate economic growth, and the economic growth will therefore pick up eventual more taxes as the U.S. economy grows, 3 to 4%, right, or more. So that's the play. That's the plan. And of course, it's going to be the question is how fast that happens. Obviously, oil prices have been kept relatively low until recently with the Israeli Iran, of course, war that's been on for 3 days now. But that is a key input, right? The other input is interest rates. And of course, we know that the Democrats are playing politics there with Jerome Powell and not reducing interest rates yet, right? Because that's those are the two key inputs into the economy, one into the physical goods and the other one into the financial markets, right? So by keeping federal funds rate up at 4.5%, they're playing a lot of silly games because inflation actually is relatively low, right? So it's a bit of a silly game going on there, but it's just the way it goes with the globalists, right? The globalist Democrats and all the rest of it. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. So we're sitting away a couple of weeks to go, and so far everything for the most part is going well. Obviously, we just outlined a few challenges, but here we are. We're 18 days away from the 4th of July, and of course, Trump wants to have the strategy in place, and then, of course, as I've said many times before, the golden age of America begins after that, right? So we're looking forward to that happening. Now, deregulation and leverage is going to continue to go on in terms of, particularly around what they call Main Street as opposed to Wall Street. And of course, this is going to be particularly beneficial for manufacturing in the US and jobs, and particularly for the Midwest, which has been abused under the Democrats, right? Because they don't vote Democrat and they were exporting their jobs over to Asia and other places like that, right? So, but that game has also changed because now we have manufacturing, which is getting highly roboticized, and with AI now, right? So we've got very powerful AI chips, we've got very powerful AI code, and we've got robots are getting pretty durable, and so that's all converging, and we see that high-end manufacturing. And warehousing, things like that, is all being roboticized. They don't need so many people now. And of course, the globalists are over there talking about how they can depopulate the world as well. It's pretty horrible stuff. These people, BlackRock CEO, sitting at one of the WF forums or something like that, talking about how they can depopulate the world. How exciting that is! They don't need people anymore. We're going to have robots out there doing our stuff, and we'll just be an elite. We'll be an elite, and we'll have everything we ever possibly desired, and as well as enslaving the remaining population. This is how sicko these sickos are. So that's kind of where we are at the moment, $105,600 at the moment. So there we go. Let's go to Ethereum, and Ethereum at the moment is consolidating. Look at that. There we go. That's a nice big consolidation. Should we go put a picture on that? Have I got the right picture? Let me see here. I always pick up the wrong ones. This is the one here. Picture here. That's the one. But look, I mean, it's a nice little consolidation sort of channel there, isn't it? And we almost broke out of it. I guess we can put that up there, put that down a little bit there. But that's kind of where we are, and it's looking pretty good, right? So not bad at all. In fact, do I have? I thought I had the RSIs on here, but apparently I don't. Yeah, I do. There we go. I've just hidden them away. We're almost at a golden cross, guys. Ethereum is about to blow to the upside, guys. This is going to be fun. Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo! One little shakeout. Let's see the little shakeout. Boy, they're nasty. The market makers are nasty, aren't they? Look at that. See that little shakeout there? That is nastiness. That's from the market makers. We had the war. The last 3 days we had the war. But the market makers are like, we got a war. Cool. Let's short the market. Let's sell the market down. But hey, look, they're still decided not to destroy the market because Bitcoin's at 105 because they know they're about to get into the banana part of the phase. That's when they're going to make most of the money, right? That's when they're going to make most of the money. And of course, they're waiting for that retail book to climb on in. And then up and away. Not you guys. You guys are the crypto bros out there and crypto ladies. But it's this is what they're waiting for. So we're getting pretty close to this golden cross, guys. This is very bullish. And look what we got: EMA 50 at 2,429. We got the EMA 200 at 2,475. So we are currently only about $46 apart from this golden cross. Woohoo! Well, the death cross did play out for quite a bit though. So that was no joke, no joke. So this was the death cross here back on the 12th of February, and essentially it's lasted right till we got this big pump here. And this is what we talked about. Remember that we said, well, what we need is some green candles, and then we got green candles just after we were in the year, and then we got the green candles. That was hilarious, right? That's the way the market works. So down 40%. In 84 days. That's typically, have you noticed that we kind of seem to get these like 90-day patterns a lot? So here we are, like since the golden cross, 84 days, and then pump we up we go, and we're on almost closed off that gap there. A big pump, and then a beautiful consolidation here, getting ready to wind up for that next move. Got to be pretty close. Got to be pretty close indeed. In the next few days, potentially this week, get some trade deals, man. It could be pretty awesome. Now, the only thing, of course, is I don't see Iran really, trying to explain the war too much with the Americans. That would just be a disaster for them. That would be a bad idea. What I do see is they could tit for tat with Israel, but I really think that they want to make a deal. They want to make a deal. The reason why I say that is because they also have enemies within, right? Something like 80% of the people don't want the Ayatollah running the world, running Iran. And of course, there are a number of leaders flocking. So, we do have that geopolitical risk. I don't want to, shy away from that. That is a big deal. But I do think that that it's probably going to fade out. Rational minds fade out unless they go full on jihad, and that's another story, right? That's another story. They are pretty close. Globus are slowly losing their funding, so this is going to impact their influence. God save Trump. Yeah, absolutely, Trev. That is true. Look, they've still got a lot of political power, and that's the key, right? That's the key. And like I said, they are still controlling many of the countries of the West, unfortunately, particularly Germany and France. If they lost Germany and France, which they didn't last election, right? Because we've still got that old East-West split in Germany and Berlin. Remember David Hasselhoff? For those that are old enough to remember or watched reruns, David Haas singing out freedom. I got freedom. You got to go watch that video on Berlin Wall with David Hasselhoff. It was just hilarious at the time. I didn't see, because a lot of us were oblivious that he was so big in Germany as a singer, and there he was on the wall during the fall of the Berlin Wall. Shouting freedom. But apparently the politics is pretty much split in Germany like that. So you got the East Germans, West Germans, and the West Germans are all crazy liberal progressives that are destroying Germany, which is the irony. And then the others are all wanting to save Germany, which are all the ones that were on the eastern side, previously Russia side. So you know where it rolls. Yeah. All right, so that's kind of where we are at the moment. It's just about closing. We're only like $46 away from Golden Cross. That's a good thing, right? So that is where we are at the moment on the old Ethereum there. I had to go through that. That was pretty cool. So Golden Cross, bring it on. We need some good trade deals this week, and just reasonable containment of maybe the Iranian war just doesn't get any bigger, kind of thing. They keep firing over those supersonics. Have you seen some of the supersonics land? Boy, oh boy, they're fast, aren't they? But hey, look, we shall see where that all goes. They've lost air superiority, right? So Israel has air superiority over Iran. Where Ethereum goes, it's party time. Yeah, Trev, we are so close. Honestly, next couple of days, could be Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see. See what happens here. Knight Rider, yes, he's excavator. Yeah, Knight Rider. Good old Kit. Remember Kit? Kit was the little robot. See, this is way back. We already had AI way back in the 80s. And we had old Knight Rider with the little Kit talking car. So yeah, we were already front running all these ideas. So if you think these ideas are new, if you're not old enough to remember, they're not new. We had them all. We had robots too. Back in the 80s, they used to say at school, a robot's going to take over. No one's going to have to work. That's what they used to say, right? So they used to at high school. Oh yeah, their teacher go, wow, don't worry, guys. You guys won't have to do much work in the future, not like your parents did, because it's going to be robots everywhere. They're going to do all the work. Well, that was not true. And of course, but here we are. I think we're definitely getting into the age where it's true, because science has matured to the point we've got like Blackwell AI chips and things like that. But it wasn't the truth. It took another was it 30 years 30 years to become true. So yeah, that's pretty funny. Well, 40 years actually. Probably 40 years since they said that to us, and then another. But they said it was probably going to be in like 10 years' time, and of course that never happened. It was like 25 years later after that, so it's like 40 years from when we got told. Crazy time, eh? I hope you caught my X post, says Charles, on donating for kids with cancer, and Ryan at Tehran YouTube channel. Cheers. I did not see that one, Charles, but thanks for posting that. All right, very cool. So that is where we are at the moment on that. So yeah, that is Ethereum. Let's go to PulseChain. Wookie says paperless society. Yeah. Well, we're definitely head towards that, and we're not too far away from that. All right, so you can still barter though. You can still barter and trade. All right, so we got PulseChain day 766, and we got price of Pulse at moment $0.03. So we're doing 30% of the mean sacrifice price. We're actually on a green day. You can't tell very much, but we're up 2/3%. And PulseX at the moment, $0.0264, is up 2/3% as well, sitting at 26.5% of the mean sacrifice price. The buy and burn is sitting at 7.22% of all public or non-OA sacrifice wallet PulseX is owned, been bought up and burned. And Sam Token $1.44 is up 1.7%. So that is the winner of today. And of course, Hex there at just under 6100th of a penny is at 1.2%. EHEX at 1800th of a penny. Combined price EX and PX just under 0.8 of a cent, sitting at 7900th of a penny at the moment. So that's kind of where the Richard Hart core coins are. Moving to the gas prices, we're sitting about 1.2 million beats, so pretty cheap to do a swap at the moment on PulseX, only 1 cent. So have fun. Voldas, 50,150. I think we're pretty similar to yesterday, maybe up a little bit. Pretty similar though to yesterday. And the bridge, the heartbeat of PulseChain, 88.4 million, which is pretty similar. Isn't that pretty much the same what we had yesterday? I think so. Our ETH and our DAI is still down, so we definitely need that to top up. Just by comparison, I did a snapshot, if you guys remember, some time ago. What day was that? That was the 3rd. I did the 3rd, so we're about 13 days, almost 2 weeks ago, and we were sitting at 21.9 million DAI. We're at 20.7. We had 7,174 ETH. We're at got 6,900 now. So we're definitely down on our DAI and our ETH. USDC is down also about 310 380,000 approximately. So that's down. USD Tether is actually up. So USD Tether is the one that's up. So that's interesting. I'm not quite sure what's driving that, but the USD Tether is up because USDC is what Ramp now is using. So, Ramp now is offsetting whoever's taking USDC out. Maybe some of the PulseChain values selling Pulse. Every week they sell Pulse and that they earn, and then they take it off as income. So that's one of the leakages. We don't talk about it too much, but obviously that's a big deal there. particularly while the markets are where they are. But yeah, we're actually up on that. So we're up about 110,000 US dollars from 2 weeks ago. That's 13 days ago to be precise. Bitcoin was 27 Bitcoin. Now this is rounded, so we don't know exactly the decimal place, but it's currently 26 at the moment. We did get to a low of 25, so we have recovered somewhat from that. We did get 27 too, but someone obviously taking some Bitcoin away there. We'll keep a lookout for that, particularly if if Richard Hart does anything around Bitcoin or not. We shall see. So that's kind of where we are on the markets there. Let's go to the overall and see where we're at there. So we got 5.8 million in volume, super low. I mean, that is super low. That's getting down towards when we were really down in the doldrums around 2-3 million, right? So we've recently been sitting around 11, 12 million. We're 5.8 million. It is a Sunday in the US though, right? So it's the laziest, slowest day, normally a down day. So just take that into account. But we are sitting at 5.8 million. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. We got 24th hour transactions, 178,000. That's on the low side as well. And nothing surprising there that Sunday, but it is a pretty poor Sunday for that. So we got your mum at the moment with the big burn and Moon King out there talking about your mum. So your mum, Elon Musk's mum, is it? That's up 24%. We got Remember from OG WebChef. That is up 21%. That's the new one. The 29 days. We got Missor, another OG WebChef, up 20%. So doing pretty well there. Beast Token as well, up 16% to 63 cents. So we've got a lot of OG WebChefs for some reason taking over here with their old was it LP mechanisms, whatever they're doing to cycle those, and they're just up today, 15% on Missor as well. Finvestor itself is the parent, the old daddy, there. Is Sugar Daddy Finvestor. I don't know. We'll play around with words here. Up 15.5% as well. So yeah, look at that. OG WebChef dominating along with your mum. Your mum and OG WebChef. What's going on there? The rumors will go wild. We got X as well, still up 10%. RSI oversold. I think there's a pump tires up 9%. PDC the Greys versus Hex is in the mix. So it's not too bad. Up 7% on PDC the Greys. Let's quickly look at PDC the Greys. Obviously, they're doing some cool stuff. We've had Prairie Banana on the show just recently. And of course, they paired up with good old Crypto Paradise. A great professional team come to PulseChain. Very, very cool indeed. Trev says, remember Alan Toffler in the book Future Shock? He was right. We will be experiencing that with the synergy between AI and robotics. So PLSX, says Trev. A nice insight there, Trev. All right, so that's where we are at the moment. We're sitting above the long-term trend on PDC the Greys. Now, remember, PDC the Greys is in my Magnificent 7. If you guys are familiar with the stock market, there's the old Magnificent 7 over there. Well, we've got our own Magnificent 7 in my view, and PDC is in that group. And here we are, 0003173. It is the first DAO on PulseChain, and similarly, Crypto Paradise has their own DAO, right? You have 200,000 surf tokens. You become part of that. But here we are on PDC and 0003171. They're looking pretty good on that chart. Look at that. That's looking pretty strong. Holding off the bounce there. Could have quite an aggressive move on the next one. And of course, if we get a pretty green week coming up with Ethereum bullish cross, game on, right? Game on. This week could be very green. Obviously, we've got the Iran thing, so I don't want to, overplay the impacts on that. It really would depend on they start attacking oil rigs and things like that, right? That's the biggest risk there, probably even worse than probably attacking American bases, but. Americans will be fine, I'm sure. We got 0000317. That is the mix at the moment. RSI is still down at 50 on that one with the old daily. So PDC Grey is not doing too bad. And what else there? We got UFO, the aliens here. We got Reserve Tay as well, up 7%. UFO related to PDC is also up 6.5%. So it's nice to see that in the mix there amongst the OG WebChef tokens. And then we get down to X Game, and you guys know it. If you guys haven't joined X Game Portal, the link is in the video description. Just take a moment to check out the video description links and join up to the X Game. That is definitely in the mix there as well. Now, I just realized what happened to did I change screen? Have I been on the screen? Or have I not? Sorry, guys. I don't know what. I don't think I was even on the screen, was I? I've been talking about these tokens and I'm not even on the screen here. I apologize. So, yeah, we've got Your Mum at the top here. We've got all these OG WebChef tokens. We just talked about PDC the Greys, so I'm going to pull that back up there because I'm not sure I was even on the right screen. PDC the Greys there. Look at that chart there. Looking pretty good. just chiming up along the top, along that long-term support. Looking very good indeed. RSI nice and chilled too, down at 48 there as well. No chart. Yeah, I got the chart back. I didn't realize I hadn't gone back to the chart there. I thought I was on the charts, but then obviously I was wrong. All right, so that is where we are on PDC the Greys. So yeah, we got Your Mum, OG Web Chef, and RSI Meme Coin X is there as well. PDC the Greys. We got Reserve Tay. That is up 7.1%, and then a UFO there, of course, related to PDC as well. There's up 6.5% there. Let's have a quick look at that one. It is coming off the bottom too. It seems to have come off the bottom range. It was down at 4 zeros 1370. It's now at 4 zeros 2000, and it's got slightly higher lows in it. And let's see if it can manage a big up here. So actually looks like it's probably going to break pretty strong to the upside. Think about these other lows going up. So I don't know. We might make a nice move to maybe an 83% move to 3700. Let's have a look at the RSI. See what the RSI is helping us with. Now we're on the daily time frame, right? So time frames are very important, and we're coming up to 50, so we could have a nice little pumps, at least back up to 2700, which is its previous high. And let's see what we've got on the 4 hourly. 4 hourly, is it our friend? 4 hourly is our friend, 51. So the 4 hourly is our friend. The daily, is this updating? I don't even know if that's update. Did that update? I don't even know if that updated the RSI. They just are coincidentally the same. Yeah, they are pretty so much the same. That's crazy. Let's go to the weekly and then look at the weekly, the longer time frame. Yeah, plenty of room. Yeah, so we're looking good for a pump on the old UFO, guys. We're looking good for a pump. All right, so PDC looking good for a pump. UFO looking good for a pump. So that one is looking hot. They're both the brother and sister, the father and mother, the grandfather, you decide. All right, so that is the nation. We got most wanted at the moment. Fort Brand round pump tires. Consider this a rich art token. To 2400th of a penny, so just under a quarter. Sorry, not 2400. 2.4 cents, I should say. Up 5.8%. We got BFF is up as well. 5.5%. What else is there? Firewhale related to X Game, right? That's up also. So X Game is up 24. Now, guys, I think this is related to Solid X, right? We talked about that earlier. In fact, I think we had somebody in the chat there at the beginning. Yes, Sean O'Malley. Big shout out to you. Up and away, Solid X to fly. Yeah, absolutely. That's also in the Magnificent 7. And, of course, this is related, right? These 3 pump tires. X Game, of course, is the main name for the X Game decentralized casino. Crash Game is the first one up, right? Crash Game. And here we are at 2300 of a penny, just humming around, waiting for some news here. All right. And, of course, Firewhale is the one where he only owned 55% of the tokens. This is Firewhale the whale. So this is the one that most people can own, and it's up 5% today. Pulse Pup there, up 6% as well. What else is doing there? Doubt Token up 5%. Love.io up 4.5%. And what else there? ABC Pulse, or Apen Pulse up 3.8%. The Pump Tires Die is up 3.6%. Let's have a look at that chart as well. It's right at the bottom at the moment, isn't it? It's not doing too much. Not a lot of love happening there. I don't know whether it should benefit if PDI goes up. PDI is kind of waiting for Better Bank and other protocols to use that, as far as I know. So we'll just see where that goes. Pretty speculative in my view, kind of a meme community, but if it gets some DeFi applications, then it's game on, right, for the old PDI narrative. Teddy Bear at the moment, Teddy Takeover from Moon King up 3%, so making a little bit of a gain there. Still right on the bottom though, right? Still right on the bottom after it got sold down pretty aggressively. So there we are sitting at 25. So it could be extremely good buy. RSI is indicating it's fairly decent, still not fully oversold, but seems to be holding in this range on the RSI at a 36. Volume is pretty modest, 6.5K a day. But it's got big backers like Moon King and Ian Heinisch, as long as they're still in the mix, which then it should do well, one argue. Up X from Haunted, we're up 2.8% on that. What else there? Solid X, of course, this is the one we're talking about. Solid X here sitting at $9.38. This is one of the Magnificent 7, and we're expecting big things to come from this. They're going to have staking for Solid X. They're going to get some good returns. They're going to have burning from X Game, decentralized casino. They're going to have a lot of network effects and multi-chain effects I don't want to say too much about that, but it's going to be bigger than what people think. That's all I'm going to say there. If you guys have not gone into our X Game portal, which is the first dedicated community, the link is in the description. Do join up today and be on the frontier of this magnificent 7 project, SolidX and X Game. The link's in the description there. All right, so that's kind of the play on that one. We're looking good. It's a nice little friendly place to buy. Let's get the RSI on this as well. RSI is your best friend, the one indicator that everyone should have, kind of thing. We got 43 on the RSI, still looking very friendly here at the moment on the 4-hourly. Not too bad as well. Might retest the 39, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. The weekly, so look at the week. Weekly, it's only been printing a weekly for a while, and we're at 43 as well. So everything looking pretty friendly, just waiting for the big news, the big alpha drops, and they are not too far away. I don't think they're too far away. A Tropo from James Maria up 2.5%. Teddy Bear James Maria as well, 2.5% there. Probably get some big moves there, depending on what sort of firepower that's going on there with James Maria. And of course, you're back in the genius, there. We got time dividend from KG up 2.4%. And a nice little mention in the monster thread last week as well about reaching new milestones in the downloads. Let's go have a look at that. Actually, let's not muck around. 78,000 downloads they had. Let's go check the stats and see what they are at the moment. I'm not sure if they've had an update since then, but yes, 78,979 downloads, up 1,700 in between the 22nd of May and the 3rd of June. So that's pretty awesome, right? That's awesome. What's it, 10, 11 days, something like that. 19,500 iOS downloads, 29,398 Androids, and 30,000 Chrome downloads there. Pretty awesome. The swap volume's been in the last 90 days. Let's go. Should we go all time? Let's go all time. 78.6 million US dollars has been swapped. 262,000 swaps, 12,000 addresses. Pretty awesome. And the dividends over that period, let's go all total. Dividends, $618,000 paid in dividends. If you're holding time token in the wallet, you are getting paid, and the current rate is around 7%, it says here. If you bought at the start, if you bought at the end, apparently it's about 5.7, but that will likely go up. Like, the more volume goes up, that will likely go up as well. I'm not sure if they've got anything around burning, but they did anything around that. You just never know with KG. That could make it even more valuable. We shall see. But, it's kind of like a DEX, right, with all the swapping going on, and we'll see how that goes in the future. It'll get re-rated like the DEXs potentially, and up and away. So that's going to be interesting to follow this one. But there we are, pretty successful sacrifice projects. I think it's done a pretty good job. Compared to a lot of sacrifice projects, Internet Money is probably a shining light on the hill. There. Kind of cool. We got Top Hat there from Crypto Copy. Top Hat there, not too bad. Sitting at a quarter of a penny, up 2.4%. Nice little collab with Crypto Paradise. And thinking of Crypto Paradise, they're just below Surf Token. Another DAO token. If you own 200,000 of it, you get some of the perks there. That is up 2.4% at the moment. And these two did a nice collab together. And a big shout to Crypto Surf Project, because they've been doing lots of collabs with a lot of people. They've got a pretty big following, right? Very professional outfit, 130,000, and it's a pretty big powerhouse now on PulseChain. So they've been really making a big impact over the last couple of weeks, getting on Emmet Farms. We've had them on live stream here on this channel. They've been on other channels. Been on Crypto Coffee's channel, doing partnerships with the Top Hat token and PDC recently. I think was one of the most recent ones. They were on with X as well last week. So really doing some great stuff. We want to see more of this. Very, very cool. Better than all the crazy drama out there. Have you guys been seeing that? You've been seeing all the crazy drama? Well, this is the way we want to go. Professionalism and collaborations and adding value rather than the drama. That's all I'll say about that. That's all I will say about that. That's all I say. We got Crypto Hitman in the house there. Big shout out to the surf chart. There is the chart right there. So definitely check out that Crypto Hitman in the house. Yeah. So some cool stuff happening there, and look forward to, I guess, more from the Crypto Paradise. Exactly the direction we want to go. Right, the exactly direction. Now we've also got number 48 is Sparta. I tried, the shout out of Sparta in the movie when he goes, "This is Sparta," and you got to spit and all that. But obviously one of the great scenes in the movie. If you guys have ever seen the backdrop of that, where he talks about how he did that, and he said, "I want to do one more take. I want to do one more take," and that's when he did the famous one where he really shouts it out and all that. It was just like, and then apparently people in the background were laughing and all that. But that's the one that was the magic. That was the one that was the magic, and that was pretty badass, right? Right, we got Sparta in the house there. It's up 2.3% from Wendy's for Tendies, an old Hex OG guy. So it's out there as well. We got Doubt Token, as we said earlier. What else is looking pretty good? Pump Tires. Now, obviously, we're thinking always about Richard Hart tokens, right? You know, PulseX, and Inc. and Hex. And we've also obviously got these Pump Tire ones. Pump Tire there sitting at 1 cent at the moment at 1.8%. So that's in the mix there as well. So those are kind of the top 50. Once we get a bit past that, like Fitzgerald Company, it's kind of like a property company, tokenized kind of idea. We'll probably get seeing one or two more of those ideas at the moment. The only way I see those successfully working, if you're going to tokenize the real world, is you've got to have the legal setup properly, right? You've got to have the right framework legally set up so that the wallet's controlled by a legal firm, part of a trust or an escrow setup or LLC. Something has to be a real clear line of sight. So if anyone's thinking of doing those, you really do need to get the legal setup from that and set up correctly. That's all I'll say about that. All right, what else have we got going? PMX 500's in the mix, up 1%. So we've got lots of the ones just up 1%, 0.5% in the mix here. Obviously, ones like Hex and Pulse and all that sort of stuff in the mix there as well. Now, obviously, we've been talking a lot about Saw Sun Mini Mill. We talk about the Magnificent Seven, right? So we talk about Richard Hart cores, the ones I just mentioned. We talk about obviously Solid X, which is the firewall backing that, and that's going to have probably a multi-million-dollar backing on that as the guest there. And then of course we talk about PDC, the big DAO token, pretty established, lots of influencer support there. I don't know, Surf token might start. I don't know, maybe Surf token starts to move into that Magnificent Seven spot. You just never know, but solid, definitely PDC the Grey is pretty well established, lots of influencers backing it, and the chart's looking pretty good. But Source Sun Mini is also in the Magnificent Seven, and we have to see actions follow words, right? It's a lot of easy to say words, but actions need to follow. So far, so good. I may have an update too on Source Sun Mini Mill, but this is opening up massive capital onto PulseChain, and I think it could be a pretty big game changer, right? I think it could be a pretty good game changer. What do we got? We've got obviously Ramp Now coming on. This Source Sun Mini will bring on new ramps. We got Ramp Now, the run rate at the moment. And this is probably modest, conservative, 34 million a year. And that's new fresh capital PulseChain. That's what we need. We need the fresh capital. How do you get this big money? We obviously got Rack and Rochelle out there, doing a lot of VC sort of private money coming onto PulseChain. He's just started to ramp that up. So it's early days on there. So we've got that. We've got Firewall obviously doing Solid X, which is already in the Magnificent Seven. And then we've got Source Sun Mini Mill here as well. Honestly, if all the actions follow the words, we got the buy and burns already started. So I think they had the first automated one 2 days ago. And we don't know what the profile is going to be like, right? They might be sitting at like 8.5 million euros and climbing in the kitty. That's my estimate based on last year's numbers, based on from the 1st of January this year. Then, of course, we don't know what that profile is going to look like. We also have Soil Bank, right? Soil Bank's going to be kind of like the non-profit that's going to help do that. We'll also look after the tokens, 1.6 million tokens. Billion tokens, I should say, that they control out of the 5 billion. They've about over 10 billion, a million out of that 5 billion have been burned so far. But we'll see this ramp up, right? So it's just early days, but we're hopefully over the next few weeks and months, we'll see that ramp up and we could see some magic happening on the chart. So far, it's not there. You can see in the volumes that it's still ticking away real nice, but not really, that buy and burn's really not kicking into gear yet. Now, obviously, the lower the price, the more the burn. So that's the other side of it. There's a bit of a dilemma there, of course. We can see the main burn address. There have been a few addresses popping up. So as we understand what they are doing, that would be very important as well. But that is the Ramp Now address there with the old buyers. In fact, we can see that on the chart here. Let's go full mode. We can see that on the chart there. Get rid of the RSI as well. But that is, we see those buys coming in. So this is very different from most charts we have on PulseChain, right? Because this has got corporate buy and burns coming in. So corporate profits coming in on the chain. Very, very, very cool, right? And obviously, if I went back further, they would have all the buys on the chart here. I just got the last sort of 3 days on there. So we've got that. But the big deal, not only the big buy and burn, a big deal, but they're going to be doing the upgrades, right? So their website, dashboard for customers, their Sun wallet, their bridge, and of course they're opening up for new customers to buy Soul token potentially. Now it can also mean existing customers to see how what the people that were in the first reward program that ended up swapping their points over for Soul token. Obviously they've got a lot of free coins, relatively free coins, and so we don't know exactly the makeup of those holders, right? So but we've got potentially all these new buyers coming in, as well as existing clients that could potentially start buying up Soul token from Europe. So a wealthy country buying Soul. So this is kind of cool picture. We'll keep looking out for this, see where it goes moving forward. So we've got the new customers, the Sun minimum buy and burn, and we've got Ramp now raising the limits from €3 to €10 very soon. And then on top of that, we said, what's that? Superman said no charts for us today. Can you not see the charts? I'm sure you can see the charts. We got the house there. Keep grinding and we will all win, says Crypto Hitman. Absolutely. That is so true. That is true. Yeah, consistency, man, is the key there. A big shout out there for that. That is so true. All right, so that is kind of the key there at the moment. And so, yeah, we have got lots of cool stuff coming. Obviously, we're expecting banks to come back online, presumably. I thought they might come back this week, but maybe next week. There'll be another on-ramp. It's a team out of Australia for Banksa, I should say. And then we've got two more on-ramps were expected to launch this year. One of them was supposed to launch in May, so I'm not sure what's happening to that one. We'll find out about that. And then the other one is expected in Q3 this year. So that should bring on a lot more economic energy on the PulseChain. And of course, we are expecting some pretty cool things happening with Ramp now. Hex, of course, has already become a client there and is not only buying Soul token with it, but now you can buy from Europe. You can buy PulseX, Hex, INC, and USDC, I think it is, and Hex, of course. So that's pretty awesome. We also see obviously new bridges opening up to other chains on PulseChain. So we've got new capital coming in. I think was it Liberty Finance? Was it Liberty Finance? I think it was bring on chain as well, and that's going really well. Apparently their volumes are going up and up and up away, going to base chain and other chains. So that's really cool. You can check that out on the Monster thread. Which is pretty groovy. All right, so that is some of the cool stuff happening. The Juggernaut on PulseChain, one of the Magnificent Seven, and if it continues to do what it's anticipated to do, this could potentially, if they can hit their 5 million holders in 5 years, that would be an absolute game changer as well. And of course, we could have some pretty big numbers. Now, if you want to find out the numbers, you got to get in the Strategy Club. The link is in the video description. Join up the Strategy Club today. Very good value. $35 a month for some pretty awesome alpha, and you can find out about Soil Sun Minimal in the strategy chat in our private club. That's pretty much it. Join the club, sir. So that is pretty much it. The top sort of 80. I'm not going to go through many of the others there. You can sort of see them for yourselves. A few other OG web chefs there, but that is the market today on PulseChain. How are we doing for time? An hour and 7 minutes. Probably a good time to wrap up. And sorry for that couple of minutes that I was not showing the chart back there. Happens sometimes. It's just the way it goes. Sometimes the stream, I've had 3 times where the stream wouldn't even initialize, which is annoying, but it seems to be working pretty well these days. I tidied a few things up, so we're looking pretty good. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I have enjoyed covering PulseChain daily. As far as I know, I'm the only significantly sized streamer covering PulseChain daily. Every so often I'll take a day off, but apart from that, you guys know I've been here pretty much for 6 years now, and we're not holding back. Now I have had other channels. We're currently streaming to 3 YouTube channels at the moment, and of course on X, and of course I've got channels on Rumble and others as well. But hey, look, we keep grinding, right? Bear market, bull market, we keep going, right? That's the thing. And as Crypto Hitman says, keep grinding, and we will all win. I love that. That's a great way to finish the show. All right, let's play out a little bit from where we are in the market. Before I go, I'll leave you these videos. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to smash the follow button, hit the subscribe. Now, there's a good chance that we will have the monster thread for week 6. Yes, the monster thread for week 6. So big shout out to MBS Crypto, our promotional lead at the Crypto Night Show, doing a fantastic job as editor-in-chief of the monster thread. That could be coming out just after the live stream, so stay tuned for that. It could be here. It could be pretty exciting. So I hope you guys enjoy that, and we'll be covering the monster thread tomorrow. So we've got some cool teams inside that monster thread as well. If you are a promotion team, you want to get promoted, The Monster Thread is the #1 publication out there. And if you want to get on that, let us know. Hit us up, either MVS Crypto or myself, and we can get you on there every single week. Hit us up there. It is professional position, so just hit us up on that one. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow on another awesome live stream covering PulseChain. And we are almost there, guys. The bull market is teasing us right now to go to the moon. So just hold on, keep accumulating, and we're going to get there in the end. All right, take care. Bye for now.
You know, you could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing each cycle. It's not to do with the halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats, don't fuck this up, don't lose control of your tokens, don't use leverage, don't get your wallet hacked, just sit with it, be careful, don't get FOMO, do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of the correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.